Lil Scrappy was renowned for his feisty temper, rough edges, and steadfast devotion to his friends and family. Fans had been watching his turbulent journey, his highs and lows with love, family, and career, on screen for years. But nothing could have foreseen the day that Scrappy's own deeds would bring him into disrepute. It all started with a particularly contentious dispute with Khaotic, a cast member who had never held back when voicing his opinions. Known for his brazen demeanor and propensity to cause problems, Khaotic had been at war with Scrappy over a minor issue that swiftly spiraled out of control. What began as a simple quarrel quickly escalated into a full-fledged altercation as words were exchanged and insults thrown. It was the last straw for Scrappy, who had always been known for losing his temper easily. Sharp words were exchanged between the two as the tension skyrocketed, but Scrappy's threats would be what ultimately sealed his fate. In a fit of rage, he made a more than verbal threat against Khaotic. There was little room for interpretation in his words, and his tone was ominous. The crew and producers who witnessed the scene were taken aback. This wasn't just another fiery dispute, it was the moment Scrappy went too far. Things moved fast behind the cameras. Regarding threats and violence, the Love and Hip Hop franchise maintained a zero-tolerance policy. What was meant to be reality television, fueled by chaos and drama, had always been carefully bordered. Scrappy's outburst crossed those lines, and the authorities had no choice but to act swiftly. One of the most identifiable characters on the show, Scrappy, lost his job. The dismissal wasn't instantaneous, but it was decisive. The decision came after careful deliberation on how it would affect the show's reputation and the safety of the cast and crew. It was a crushing blow for Scrappy. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta had been a crucial platform for his career, a place where he'd showcased his life, music, and complex family dynamics. Now, all of that was in jeopardy due to a moment of weakness. Fans were torn when the news broke. While some were disappointed by how quickly the show had acted, others were incensed at Scrappy for losing control and stirring up problems. The thin line reality stars often walk between entertainment and personal repercussions was on full display. This moment marked the end of an era for Scrappy, and it was not just the end of his career on the show. It was a sharp reminder of the cost of his rage and his inability to control it. For the first time, Scrappy was no longer the center of attention, but the show would go on without him. In the days that followed, Scrappy kept to himself, reflecting on what he had done. Behind the confident and blustering public persona, the reality of his actions began to settle in. He had hurt his career with his own hands. But Khaotic, he faced no consequences. He kept making appearances on the show while the tension between him and Scrappy remained. For Scrappy, this loss was a harsh lesson, one that came too late. His rage, once his protection, had now become his downfall. The end of his time on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta marked the end of his career on that stage, signaling a turning point that no one could have predicted.
I probably went too hard or something, took something the wrong way or something like that, you know? So I want to say, I'm sorry to Khaotic, you know?
We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. We're not.
Cause I can give a Cause let me tell you something. When a over me and he feel like I'm not a good person, I feel the same way Khaotic feel. So we on the same page.
No, but he does not feel that way.
He just said it. He said, hey, if you feel like I'm not a good person in your life, then you need to stay like that and I'm gonna stand on that. And we gonna stand on it.
No!
Let's stand on it.
No!
We gonna stand on it.
No, he does not. Stop. He did not say that.
What I said was, if you feel like I'm a bad person to you, then
Okay, but this is not about that right now. This is about you. How do you feel about him?
I never said I had a problem with him.
No, do what he do. Do what he do. He say something crazy, and he be like, "Oh, I ain't got no beef. I ain't got no stuff."
Chaotic always try to play a victim. He'll start some then he want to be like, "I don't want no beef, man. If you got an issue, stand on it. If not, sit down and shut up, bro."
At the end of the day, like I said, bro, it don't even really matter.
Cuz gonna try to goddamn. He want everybody to be like, "Oh my God."
No, because we're so grown, we can really make an assessment of our own thoughts here. I'm actually
I be watching Cuz I be like, "Oh."
Okay, so wait.
You know what your problem is?
I ain't got no problem. I'll beat your ass.
You had a million times to do it.
Why you outside?
Why you
boy. He's a
Nothing could have foreseen the day when Scrappy's own actions would cause him to lose favor, despite his career and family always being the most important aspects of his life. It all began with a particularly heated argument with a disorderly cast member who had never been shy about expressing his ideas and was infamous for his audacious behavior and tendency to stir up trouble. He and Scrappy clashed over a minor disagreement that rapidly escalated into something much more serious. What started as a simple dispute quickly turned into a full-fledged confrontation as words were exchanged and accusations hurled. When the tension reached its boiling point, Scrappy, known for his quick temper, was on the verge of losing it. In the heat of the moment, Scrappy didn't just throw words, he threatened Khaotic in a way that went beyond verbal aggression. The words were harsh and the tone was chilling. It wasn't just another heated argument anymore. It was the moment that would seal Scrappy's fate. The producers and crew who had witnessed the altercation were shocked. This wasn't just an emotional outburst. It was a man who had crossed the line.
Whole time, he the one who called me out my name, disrespecting me, talking gangster. I never talked gangster. I never threatened him. I don't play no victim. I just don't do all that fake gangster talking and all that there. You came at me talking gangster. First of all, if I say anything slick or say anything crazy out my mouth, I got the right to anyway.
Behind the cameras, things unfolded quickly. The Love and Hip Hop brand had a zero-tolerance policy for threats and violence, despite reality television's long-standing tradition of chaos and drama. But Scrappy's outburst crossed the line, and the authorities wasted no time in reaching their conclusion. Scrappy, one of the most iconic characters on the show, lost his job. Though there was a brief delay in his dismissal, the decision was made swiftly after careful consideration of the potential damage to the show's reputation and the safety of the cast and crew. It was a devastating blow to Scrappy. His career had flourished thanks to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, a show he had been a part of since its beginning. It provided him with a platform to showcase his life, music, and complicated family dynamics. Yet, all of that was now at risk because of one moment of weakness. The announcement sent shockwaves through his fanbase. While some were outraged at Scrappy for losing his cool and causing chaos, others were disappointed at the show's quick response. For Scrappy, this termination was more than just the end of his TV role. It was a harsh reminder of the fine line reality stars walk between entertainment and the consequences of their actions. It became a sobering lesson about Scrappy's anger and his inability to control it during a tense moment. In the days that followed, Scrappy kept to himself, reflecting on what he had done. Behind his public confidence, the reality of his actions hit him hard. He had damaged his career, and in doing so, hurt himself. Khaotic, on the other hand, was untouched by the fallout. He continued to make appearances on the show, and the tension between him and Scrappy lingered. For the first time in a long time, Scrappy was no longer the center of attention, but the show would carry on without him. This moment was a crushing but essential lesson for Scrappy. His rage, which had once shielded him, was now a barrier to his success. Losing his job on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter in his life, one that would forever be defined by that fateful outburst.